Week 15 of the 2024 NFL season saw Jalen Hurts answer and silence a lot of critics. But where does he fall on my list for the top 5 quarterbacks? I'm professional quarterback Justin Arth, here to break down my top 5 quarterbacks of the week with a couple of honorable mentions to let you guys know who's balling and who is not. I only have 2 honorable mentions this week: Jaden Daniels and Jordan Love. Number 5, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield had a 135.3 QBR, 22 of 27 for 288 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, with 25 rushing yards on the ground. For the most part, the decision-making was tremendous out of Baker Mayfield this week, but I do have to downgrade him on my list because of the timing and the situation of that interception. They were down at the time, it was close to half. If the Chargers convert on that interception, which they didn't, that would have been a huge turning point in the game. Baker did an amazing job with his footwork and never got outside of his base. He progressed through progressions very seamlessly, very smoothly, and each of his 4 touchdowns were on big, huge, crucial downs. And as we know with Baker, he thrives in the clutch. He consistently had the answers to the test, and he's seeing and confirming things pre and post snap very well right now. Number 4, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts had a 125.3 QBR, 25 of 32 for 290 yards and 2 touchdowns, with 15 rushes for 45 yards and an additional touchdown on the ground. A huge step in the right direction and an answer to the huge criticism happened this week for Jalen. What I love the most is that he looked a lot more prepared. One of my biggest gripes with him in the past was he never seemed to have answers against pressure. He never seemed prepared. He never knew where his hots were. Today, he played within the rhythm of a system. He was decisive. Yes, he had more opportunities to push the ball down the field instead of nickeling and diming it. And the play calling is kind of iffy as well in Philadelphia, that I think is putting Jalen in a bad situation. But it looked like Jalen Hurts took up for those shortcomings in Philadelphia this week. The way that he played this week is a very strong foundation moving forward, and especially come playoff time if the Eagles want to make a deep playoff run. Number 3, Jared Goff. Jared Goff had a 118.8 QBR, 38 of 59 for 494 yards and 5 touchdowns, with 13 rushing yards on the ground for the guy. A slow start for Jared Goff in what became a shootout is arguably the reason why the Lions lost this game, but Jared Goff showed me some different elements to his game that I hadn't seen in a while. Yes, he is still deadly accurate in play action and when his offensive line gives him time, but Buffalo's defense got to Goff and forced him to use his legs and extend plays. He threw a lot of strikes with pressure in his face, which, despite the loss, is why he's number 3 on my list. He kept the offense in rhythm, and for the most part, he did that with a methodical nature to the comeback. They were firing on all cylinders during that comeback. Number 2, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson had a 154.6 QBR, 21 of 25 for 290 yards and 5 passing touchdowns, with 6 rushes for 65 yards and a fumble on the ground. Lamar Jackson had a field day against the Giants. Anything he wanted to do against this defense, he did it. Unless it was in the red zone or 3rd and short, the Giants sat back in 2 high zone looks and never rushed more than 4 or 5. And they never got any pressure on Lamar. He could sit in the pocket and pick apart defenses. He was given ample time to read defenses and threw strikes all over the yard. And when the coverage won on the play, Lamar still made the plays on the ground that we're accustomed to seeing and using his legs to extend plays and create. And what I think most people won't see with Lamar's play this week was the quiet feet. He gave himself a great base, and young quarterbacks, if you give yourself a great base in the game and your offensive line can help you create a great base, you are going to set yourself up for success, and Lamar Jackson did that this week against the Giants. Number 1, Josh Allen. Josh Allen had a 122.4 QBR, 23 of 34 for 362 yards, 2 touchdowns, with 68 rushing yards on the ground and an additional 2 touchdowns on the ground. Josh Allen put on an absolute clinic in this shootout against the Lions this week. His ability to extend and create plays was on full display. He showcased an unbelievable touch to the football, but he also showcased some clean, precise footwork. Yes, Josh Allen lives on the edge, but it worked out for the best athlete on the field this week. The offensive architecture was set up for Allen to dominate this game with that running ability, with throwing guys open in and out of rhythm. You combine this play with the winning, I think Josh Allen has overtaken Lamar Jackson for the 2024 league MVP. Nothing against Lamar, but I think Josh Allen has that slight edge in what he's able to do in the pocket, out of the pocket, and how physical he is in the run game.